Here's Matt working it as the true Quan Do style of staying off the end. And again, if I was to address the issue of bullying and say seek help, I would teach, as I did my kids and all my students, this is the beginning of it all. This is the introduction to how to efficiently fight, even at the level of with the ultimate fighting, cage fighting, etc. The stand-up, as you can see in ultimate fighting, has evolved and gotten more along the lines of a chess match, where people are becoming really efficient strikers with good footwork. And so I have competed throughout the years in boxing and martial arts competitions, and actually in Canada, I think I was the first sanctioned extreme fight. Fought a fellow from Japan who was a four-time karate champion and master of jiu-jitsu. And I made a mistake. I didn't stay active on my feet. I was too nervous or something, and I ended up getting my legs kicked off and then eventually submitted on the ground. So part of what has happened with me is an evolution too. I've learned that if you know, for me to want to go out and punch it out in a professional boxing fight, or to go through something as grueling as a Muay Thai kickboxing style, I don't want that. I want to somehow be able to work my way around even a fairly adept fighter. But as far as just some regular dude coming up and trying to boot you or hit you, I think we've got it down. This is the way we start with kids. I envision kids training with gloves and a foam rubber blade on the end of their glove to pretend sword fighting with their hands. Because as you can see, even in this drill where I'm working now, my bare hands, this is another phase of our training. It's this ability to just relax and see everything coming. It's kind of, now we're adding a bit of the shin kicks, etc., that go along with it. Again, this is designed to handle anything coming at you. So basically, I have to be very strong in my defense, which basically makes a person kind of afraid, or tentative at least, to come in for the kill.
Aaron broke my leg.
Again, bare hands. Makes for a much different game, actually, when you take the gloves off and begin realizing how small your hands are when it comes to this kind of thing. Gloves, you can see, we're fairly bare minimum when it comes to equipment. We don't wear headgears, mouth guards, hand wraps, etc. We want to dictate what it's like to just deal with a situation as it arises. The gloves are just for hand protection and just in case shots do come in. It's, you know, it's a fair way to learn, and it can be pretty darn rough. And coming up in a while on this video, will be sparring with one of my students. He's out here doing this part of the filming, and here I am working now, developing another level, which is turning my hands into and my arms into a strength stance that not only deals with the exact same thing that I've been doing so far, with lots of movement and trying to stay agile, but also my hands can brutalize a person as they shove their fist into my face. I'm going to demonstrate that, I think, with the next student coming up here. I'm going to get really into hard hitting with the hands. Aaron and Matthew now, again. Stay moving. Matthew hasn't trained for a while, and I noticed that, and the twins also hadn't been out for a while, so I really appreciated them coming out here. So this is them all just a little bit rusty, but they certainly, it's been ingrained into their style. They're all about mimicking and learning this particular style, which just is basically staying out of harm's way. when we train in the park, we find that this is where we practice our ground defense and our submissions, etc. But again, even when we're at that level, we don't want to get tackled, and so we practice avoiding the wrestler and the jiu-jitsu style type fighter. I think this is where I'm starting to get a little bit tougher with my hands. Make them, again, a little more respectful of my distance. In this first video, which is our introduction, we're just adding the short stabbing kicks.
So we time it, we hit.
Again, we're not out to engage in a bloodbath or start going bone on bone in hard-hitting fighting, but we are definitely prepared to do it.
That way, you learn to
I
keep
broke
your
my
eyes
leg
on
last year
exactly what's going
trying to
on,
prove that.
getting a punch straight out, straight back, as fast as you
So,
can.
a bit of a setback. And again, a lot of this has happened through an evolution of myself. At one time in my life, I was all about blocking and fighting my way into power shots, and I was known for it. And I gained a lot of respect from some good guys that I had been sparring with and training with throughout my life. But I took too much punishment, and at this point, I'm all about the no-pity.
Slow act.
Holly here is our smallest person that I'm training right now, and with her use of balance and movement and working power, she's also very effective. Practicing reciprocal blocking and punching is how we build up true punching power. I've worked for years on heavy bags, etc. And here I'm going to pay the price, taking some of my son's hits here, and they are hard. Again, this is partly toughening me up, but him getting those type of leverage is building up his ability to lay out a lot of punishment. Again, Matt is now on the move.
Very nice. Perfect.
Me and Holly haven't worked very much on this particular type of training yet with her bare hands. She's doing quite well. And it's been quite an easy transition to go from gloves to bare hands. So anyone who's watching this video and seeing what we're about, it's easy to practice. It begins by measuring an opponent, moving around, touching off each other's hands, and learning the balance and the fluid movement of the true fighter. Over time, and with safety first, we practice using guard work, developing power. So many fighting tournaments that I've been in over the years, I've seen people come into them and they do not have the ability to keep their head in the game. They're always overreacting or getting overwhelmed by a person's direct attack. So again, what makes this practical is that when something does arise, you never have this sense of fear overwhelming you. Here I'm working with Holly. Again, she's our smallest student, 117 pounds, and she's dropping in her left legs. This is the way we do it. I find it the best way to develop true punching power is off of another human.
Now add full.
And here is one of our favorite drills, which is called the 1 and 1, 2. Is it's often how we end workouts with as many times as you can hit square into each other's left and then right. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. And it's great for building up endurance, shoulder strength, cardio.
Perfect.